It's not too fun, but it does sound interesting and intriguing. I do have quite the expansive TBR, and I forgot to grab one. Hello people of the YouTube world and all who are watching this. I am Mackenzie 901K. We're gonna be doing some resetting today. It is a new month. It is officially May. Welcome to Thursday uploads. Also, I forgot that I switched around a few videos, so I think this video is going to be my first Thursday upload. So how you doing? Without any further explanation, let's go ahead and let's get right on into the TBR. For the TBR this month, I have 3, 6, 7, 8 books that we're going to be talking about. One of them I have already kind of started. I do have quite the expansive TBR, and I forgot to grab one. Okay, so let's talk about the books that I am probably going to be picking up first-ish. The order really doesn't matter, but we'll just start with what's closest. First up, we have The Reappearance of Rachel Price. I am already 7 chapters into this book. I'm currently reading this for a reading vlog that you guys won't see for a few weeks, so TBD on how I'm feeling about this book. Pretty much we are following this girl named Belle, and Belle is now 18. Belle was actually the last person to ever see her mother alive. So flash forward 18 years later, Belle is now an adult. They're doing this documentary about what happened to Rachel Price. She's having to reopen some old wounds. It's not too fun. It's not really been too fun of a time for Belle, but I am really enjoying this book so far. My only complaint is the pacing. I think the pacing is so slow so far. Like, we've not really got to dive into Rachel Price actually showing back up. I really want to get into that. That's what I'm most looking forward to in this book, is Belle going on like these Good Girls Guide to Murder-esque, because it's Holly Jackson, sleuthing to see if her mother is telling the truth whenever she comes back, and that's what I'm most interested in. That is what intrigued me the most. So TBD on what my thoughts are going to be, but as for right now, I'm enjoying it. It's fun, but it's not a fave so far. Then we have Funny Story by Miss Emily Henry. So Funny Story is following Daphne. So it's quite literally going to be a funny story about her fiance Peter, and Peter, I guess, being a doo-doo head. And then we have Miles, and Miles is also, I believe, going through a breakup or something like that. He's wearing Crocs on the cover, and I just don't know how to feel about that. I've heard this book is very much like New Girl. We'll see if this gives me New Girl vibes. This is going to be my first ever Emily Henry book that I'm ever going to read. I honestly don't really have an excuse for that, other than I wanted to save The People We Meet on Vacation and Beach Read originally for when I decided to take my beach trip. Now I'm just apparently saving all of them for when I take a beach trip, but that is changing because I do want to see what Emily Henry's all about. I want to see what all the fuss is about, because if you don't know, Emily Henry is a highly praised author in the romance industry, so I am very intrigued by this book as well. Next up, we have Aira Fire by Sarah J. Maas. This is the third book in the Throne of Glass series. I am not too far into it. I think I'm on chapter 7 or 8. If you want my honest opinion, so much has happened already. I just don't know how to feel. I am really enjoying it so far, but it is so different. When someone tells you that the Throne of Glass series does a complete 180 and the first book is nothing like the rest of the series, that is the truth. That is exactly what I am experiencing right now. Aira Fire is so different and so interesting, and I know so much about Selena now. I'm just so confused, and I cannot wait to see how this series unravels. I have a prediction that this book is going to be my favorite, if not a 5-star, from the Throne of Glass series. Then we have Laur of the Wilds. This is a new release that came out, honestly, maybe a month or so ago. I've been so intrigued by this book ever since I kind of found out about it. I think I maybe originally seen it on TikTok. It is giving ACOTAR, but a different circumstance because they're fairies. What the cover alludes me to believe is that there's going to be a love triangle between these three. I'm not 100% sure on this, so don't like mark my words, but it does sound interesting, and it is a really short read. I feel like it's just shy of, yeah, it's not even 350 pages, so we will see how I feel about this book. I am excited for this. I think, spoiler, but I think this may be in my 48-hour readathon when Katie does her readathon. Maybe, possibly, we will see. You'll have to watch the video to find out. Then we have Binding 13. I am putting this on my TBR for this month with the intention of picking it up, but I don't know if I'll honestly be able to get to it. I really want to. Honestly, I kind of really want to film a specific reading vlog for Binding and Keeping 13, but we'll see on that. I'm not 100% dead set on doing that, but we'll see. So this book, we're following our main girl, Shannon, and Shannon pretty much has a really rough home life. She's going through a lot, and then she meets this guy named Johnny, and I think he hits her over the head with something to do with rugby or something like that. I don't really know what happens in rugby. I don't really know the lingo for rugby, so I don't know if it's a ball or a puck. I don't know what he hits her in the head with, but he hits her in the head. This book just kind of follows them in their life from there. I've heard that this book is such a romantic but dark book. So we will see what I think about this. TBD if I'm going to film a reading vlog specifically for Binding 13, but that does not mean that you won't see it in a reading vlog. It just may not be specific to the Boys of Talmud series. Then we have The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson, aka Mistborn, the first book in the Mistborn series. I don't know what has enticed me to pick up Mistborn. I've always been intrigued by Mistborn, but I don't know what's enticed me to pick it up right this very second, but I feel like I need to pick this book up as soon as possible, and I will be picking this book up as soon as possible. I'm very excited for Mistborn. All I know is that the magic system in here is really interesting. I think they use the metal, like the magic system with the metal, and they can use metal for different things, something like that. I think that I'm going to enjoy it. I really think I am. Even though it's not going to have any romance and that's going to kind of throw me off a little bit, I think I'm going to enjoy Mistborn. Then we have the 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I've seen this book kind of floating around on BookTube here recently and back in like the fall months, but I don't really necessarily know for sure if this takes place in fall. I have the Dead Romantics. I have had the Dead Romantics. I've actually had it for over a year at this point, and I've never picked it up because the premise of it, I just don't know if I'm gonna like it. But this one sounds interesting because it is a romance still, but it has like this time traveling element to it, or at least that's kind of what I've been told. After Clementine buries her aunt, she gets her apartment. Her aunt passes, she gets her apartment. Clementine has always been told that this apartment is magical. She gets to witness it herself, and the apartment goes back 7 years in the past, and she meets this guy. That just sounds really interesting. I'm very intrigued with the time traveling element in a romance. Next we have A Tempest in Tea. This book is actually Katie's book club pick for the month. On top of that, I just have really been intrigued by this book. I've seen a lot more people read it recently. This author is the same author that wrote We Hunt the Flames. This book has been described, from what I can tell, as Six of Crows but werewolves, and that intrigues me. I do also have the Fairy Loot edition. Honestly, this edition is what intrigues me even more about this book. Like, stunning. Like, I am so intrigued. That's really all I've got to say about it, but I am super duper excited for this one. The very last book that is on my TBR for the month is Where the Dark Stands Still. This book actually, so funny story, Katie and I back in January, I think, tried to read One for My Enemy. I think I maybe briefly talked that was going to be our buddy read, and I did start it. I think I maybe got about 5% through, and I just couldn't do it. We need a redemption. We need to make a comeback, and we need to successfully finish a buddy read. This is the one that we have settled on. All I know is that I've been told that it's giving House Moving Castle. I don't know exactly why it's giving House Moving Castle. I don't know if the main two characters are Hal and Sophie coded. I don't know, but I'm just so intrigued by this book, and I have been intrigued by this book for a really long time. I've owned this book now for a month. I do love the cover too. Like, it is so stunning, and the back, it is so gorgeous. So I am planning on picking this up in a reading vlog as well, and I'm very excited, Katie, if you're watching, to buddy read this. That is my TBR for the month. We do have not as many books as I normally like to put on my TBR, because I do have actually more books sitting on my TBR shelf, and I do have library books that we're going to get into in just a couple seconds, and we're going to do the haul of those, and then I am so excited to sit down and do my reading journal spread. Let's go ahead and let's jump into the library haul, and I will meet you guys there. I do have the library books here. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get into them. I will have to be holding them up like this because the library sticker is over here. But the first book that I have is the 10,000 Doors of January. This book I have seen Katie talk about, so I don't really know a lot about this book. I only know that it's got some interesting vibes to it, and the only thing that I think I kind of know about the premise is that the girl writes down like a story, and then she opens a door, and like the story's inside the door. But it does sound interesting and intriguing, and I cannot wait to pick this up. I do have plans to pick this up, but I'm not gonna tell y'all in what video. You're just gonna have to wait and see. Next we have The Friendship Study. This is a book. Also, I hate this cover. Let me just talk about it like this. This cover is just not doing it for me. I don't really know where I seen this book. I think I just kind of found this book on a whim, honestly. I do think that this is going to be a very interesting read, especially just by basing it off the cover. I am very confused. I don't know. We'll see if I enjoy this book. We'll see. Then the next book that we have is The Hedge Witch of Foxhall. I don't really know also why I picked up this book. I honestly just kind of seen it sitting there on the table. I've never heard anybody talk about this book before, but I do believe it is a new release, and from what I can gather, I do believe that this takes place in a magical school or something like that. It is about witches, and it's got that witchy vibe to it. The little caption says, "A prince who hates magic, a prince who has spent his life hiding from it, a witch who is determined to protect it." So I'm getting love triangle vibes, and I'm really intrigued. Hopefully this book will be interesting. I definitely do want to pick it up at some point. Once again, not really sure when. And the cover is honestly so pretty. You really can't see much because of the reflection, but I do love the cover, and I think that it is so cute. The next book that we have is The Will of the Many. Honestly, I seen it in Katie's little Discord. We have a pick of what we want to do for a buddy read each month, and this was one of the options, and I'd never heard of this book until that point. It's very Roman inspired. The thing that kind of threw me off with it though is it doesn't really have a romance plot to it. Like, I think it does, but it's very minimal, and this is a very thick, chunky book. But I also have heard that this book is really easy to get into, so we'll see if I end up picking this up. Honestly, I think my fiance will enjoy this book more than me, so I am trying to convince him to pick this book up. The next book that we have is another new release, and this is Draw Down the Moon. Again, don't really know pretty much what any of these books are about. I just know that I seen this book on a whim as well on TikTok, and it sounded interesting. The cover is definitely very intriguing to me. This is a mystical school, a mysterious death, and a magical romance. So it is a romantasy, and that alone intrigues me. Hopefully we will be able to get to this. I do also have a reading vlog planned around this, so maybe we'll see. The last book that we have in the little library haul that I have is The Neighbor Favor. This book I seen Destiny talk about, and she said that she absolutely adored it and that it was so cute. If Destiny gives a book recommendation, you read it. Anytime you hear Destiny say, "Oh, I like that book," you pick it up, you read it. So that's what I'm doing. I just read the first page recently, and I was shocked. Let me just tell you. It says, "Lily Green always imagined that if she were to have the tragic misfortune of dying young, it would be in a valiant, horrible way." And on that alone, I was like, what type of book am I about to get into? And that is the little library haul. She is so cute. She is so fun. And I am so excited to read these books. And I love that I have a library now to go and get books from. I've wanted a good library for so long. Now, I think that it is time we get into the journaling. Let's go ahead and let's get into the journaling. Hello friends. So it has been a few days since I filmed this video, and today is actually uploading day and I forgot to film an outro, so that's what we are doing. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the journaling spread that I did. I did briefly kind of want to talk about that really quick. So that journaling spread is inspired by Miss Bobby Goods. I pretty much took some of her digital coloring pages that you can print out and color in, and I minimized them and I colored them in. I also pulled a few off of Instagram, so some of those are mine, some of those are not mine, and it was just really just inspired by Bobby Goods because I've been so obsessed with her coloring book lately, and I am in love with that journal spread. It is so good. It is so cute. Anyway, that is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching. Welcome to Thursday uploads. Hopefully we can stay in this Thursday upload vibe because I am really enjoying Thursday uploads. Comment down below if you guys do journal spreads. I love doing them. I've been doing journaling spreads for a very, very, very long time. But recently, I have just gotten back into it again. I've been seeing a bunch of people start to do their journaling spreads. A bunch of booktubers do their journaling spreads. And it has re-piqued my interest in doing journaling. And I have been very consistent with it so far this year. So if you guys want some more journaling content, we'll probably do this in the resetting videos once a month. But if you guys want any more journaling type videos, let me know and we can definitely do some because they're really fun. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it. It helps the channel and it makes me smile. Don't forget to tap that subscribe button, the bestie button as we have come to call it. Tap that button and also make sure you turn on the post notification bell. Normally I try to upload every Sunday at 6 p.m. EST, but Now we're incorporating Thursday, and I don't know how long Thursday's gonna stick, so you better be pressing that button because who knows when I'm gonna upload next. That's it for the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.